It's back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
You're dancing. Lee Schwartz is dancing.
I know, he's doing cool too. I love that.
Lee Schwartz is in the studio, and so is Karen M. Jensen. And let's see, Lee, it says here, is an historian, a storyteller, an advocate for the preservation of history.
That's right.
And the supervisor of the Bellevue Public Library. And Karen M. Jensen is the Marion County, Florida Public Library Community Liaison and the editor of Words, the Marion County Public Library Quarterly News Magazine. Oh, I got to subscribe to that. I don't get that one sent to me.
If you have a library card, you'll get it in your email.
Oh, then maybe I did get it.
We can make that happen.
Maybe I did get it. Okay, I miss a lot of email. We're talking about the Fort McCoy Public Library Community Celebration happening this coming Saturday.
Yes.
Wow, what are we celebrating?
Well, we really think
morning.
we've got
First
good
of all.
morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Thanks for
Larry.
having us. We appreciate being here. So we believe we have a lot to celebrate at that beautiful historic
You have a great
library. Oh, thank you. Well, we're a happy group, but we do. We have a lot to celebrate there. We have a brand new full-time supervisor on board, and as I said, it's such an interesting based in history community. And so one of the main things, though, that we're celebrating is that the Friends of Fort McCoy last fall received a grant from Clay Electric Cooperative, and it enabled the library to put in a state-of-the-art sound system, big screen, and projector in that old, I don't know if any of you have been there, this is a good chance to do so, but
I have
in
been
that
there.
old, beautiful, historic auditorium. So it is now just an experience very comparable to sitting in any of the movie theaters around Marion
Is that right?
County. It is. It's great.
And so does that change what you schedule?
Well, we've certainly scheduled a lot more movie matinees.
Okay, all right.
And that's something we really want, the public to, experience that brand new equipment in that auditorium. And, again, if you haven't been out there to visit, this is a great opportunity.
Should go
to
out
come
there.
back. Absolutely.
I haven't heard the slang, I guess, called Hog Valley. Do people still call that area Hog Valley?
Yes, they do. I mean, and I think that's something a lot of people, myself included, probably before I came to the library, that the Fort McCoy area is, quite a large geographic area. There's Fort McCoy, Eureka, and...
So what would be the two mountains that make the valley?
That is a great question.
Someone will call in and tell us the answer to that. You know they will.
And what about the hog part? I mean, was there a lot of hogs at one time?
Again, I feel
Great
confident somebody is going to let us know the answer to that.
And what about the fort part? Tell me about the fort part. Was there actually a fort there?
Oh, these are all great questions.
I just always wondered these things.
Now we have our homework as research librarians. Now we know exactly what we need to do.
If you come on Saturday, I will have all three of those answers for you.
Nice. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, but you're a storyteller.
Yes.
You could make up anything.
That's true. That will be my next good story.
It'll all be truthful. I know, Lee. It will all be accurate.
And you're going to be showcasing authors.
Yeah, so this block party has a lot of different elements to it. The part that I am helping to coordinate is we're going to have a lot of community authors coming in. We did this at Bellevue when we had a community celebration. It worked very well. It's a great way for authors to get a whole new audience, to meet and greet the public, and it's also a great way for the public at a library event to get inspired by all these authors. And so we put a call out to anybody who wanted to be part of it, and we have some really well-known authors coming. Bob Lee, who you might know. I don't have the list in front of me, but about 16 are committed to coming. I could probably fit a couple more in if you have a listener that's an author that wants to come. Call me at the library, 438-2500. But we have a lot of great writers groups around here. Freedom Library had a writers group. Bellevue Library has a writers group. Forest Library has a writers group. So when I put the call out, the response has been great. So
Karen, are you a writer?
I am.
Tell me about your writing.
Well, I like to think that I am.
Well, tell me about your writing. What do you write?
I've done creative writing most of my life. I was a journalism major for a while in college, and then English. Oh dear. But I do a fair amount of writing, and of course with our Words magazine, I do some writing. I do a lot of the editing, but I will say we have a tremendous creative team within our library system. Lee has some creative, really tremendously creative people on staff, both with their graphic design as well as writing. So even though I enjoy creative writing, like I said, it's a team. And
can I tell you why I'm laughing? Because you do exactly like Robin does. I try to get something compliment. I want to know more about you, and you're taking it and you sent it to other people. So let me ask you some specific questions.
Yes.
Are you working on something that you're writing right now?
Well, absolutely. Right now we are very close. All right, very close to getting our winter issue of Words completed and ready to go to press.
That's a big job. Yeah.
It is. Again, there is a team involved, a great team, but it is my job to make sure that all of the submissions are edited. Again, I do writing for just about every issue.
Do you need a crossword puzzle? Because I'm pretty good at these. I can make one. Like, for example, let me give you an example. A three-letter word starts with O. The clue is Yoko. I always get that one.
I think I can get that one.
I always spell it backwards.
I know, I have that problem too.
Well, Words is a very, very fun email too, whenever I get that. It's very colorful. You're on point. You showcase everything.
Thank you.
And give what's coming up for that season, and it's really amazing.
Thank you. We started our Words via email blast first part early this year, and it's really been well received. We're all, most of us in this day and age, we're all online. We all are digitally connected in some capacity, and so with even though we're very grateful and appreciative that our friends of the Ocala Public Library fund Words. They fund it in entirety. We do a limited print copy. So based on that, when we were out, we were out. And now with anyone who has an active email can contact us and get on our mailing list for Words.
Cool thing. Yeah.
So it really, I think, has expanded our outreach capabilities and promotion of what's going on at all 8 locations.
And you do a great job, especially showcasing this event. You're also going to have food and music.
We are. There is a DJ, and Marston Lodge is providing hot dogs, and I know the Friends are providing some other snacks, so we'll just kind of wait and see. We have, I think, a library staff who's going to be doing face painting, and there'll be children's crafts and activities. We have United Way's Reading Pals who will be coming and doing a story time. Heart of Florida Health Center will be there.
Nice.
So again, and several of the local civic associations. So
how fabulous.
I think there'll just be something for everyone, and then of course come in and experience that awesome new auditorium sound system and movie capacity.
And what are you showing?
Well, we've got a couple of little things planned, but probably the feature will be a historical PowerPoint presentation that our Fort McCoy Friends of the Library President Mary Thomas has put together. So it will just be little series of vignettes and pictures of the scenic area of Fort McCoy, some recognizable areas, of course, the library and some programs that we've had.
Between those presentations, I can do shadow puppets pretty good.
Well, then you're in. We got to make a note of that, Lee. We've got Larry, shadow puppet.
And I love the fact you're going to have a ribbon cutting.
We are. We're not quite sure how we're going to do that, but we're going to figure out something. It may just be a really good slide on the PowerPoint that'll...
Shadow puppet scissors.
That's what you do, yeah.
Great idea. Now I think we've got it solved.
That's a good idea.
We've got it solved.
Do one of those Penn and Teller tricks or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, now that we've got the talent, we know we can do it.
There you go. And no, the Fort McCoy area is really beautiful. It's a scenic drive. However, a person gets there. There are a few different ways to get up there, and it's not that far.
It really
from
is
the
not.
You got to get over that mountain first.
That's right.
Get into the valley.
And past the hogs.
Yeah, once you get downhill, watch out for the hogs.
And from the historic photos that I've seen of Fort McCoy, that's not that far from the truth. I mean, the old native Floridians and residents of the area certainly can remember when 315 was not paved. I mean, there were cattle back and forth across those roads, and there are lots of the...
But no hogs.
I haven't seen any of those hogs, but they must have come and gone.
Is everything going to be inside, or are you splitting it?
This is like an all-encompassing celebration because we couldn't fit it all in that library. So outside there'll be tents, there'll be games, there'll be food, there'll be a DJ and things to do, activities for everyone. Inside will be authors, and also different civic associations will be in there as well. Reading pals, like Karen had said. So it's kind of outdoors and indoors because, like we were talking about earlier, this is the best time of year to be in our county when you can just be out,
it's a nice time,
out together. So and this is one of my favorite libraries. I've worked there a few times, but I remember the first time I went out there to help do a puppet show, speaking of puppets, and I thought, wow, this is a cute little library. And then all of a sudden, more and more people kept showing up. I was like, 80 people in this little auditorium. Like, it really is something. So it's really the heart of the community in Fort McCoy. And like we were talking how big it is, people come far and wide just to go to this library. So it's really special. So I hope people come out. If you've never been, it's really a treat to see this part of the county. It's beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that starts at 11 o'clock?
Starts at 11, and I must note, too, for everyone, that our Marion County Animal Services will be there, so
Oh, no.
I think if anybody's...
Tempt me with another puppy?
I think that there will be something for some additional
Do you have a dog?
friends. Oh, absolutely.
What's your dog's name?
Max.
And what kind of dog is Max?
He's a rescue mini schnauzer.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my mom loves those.
Oh, yeah, just little joy.
Everybody has that word rescue now in the front, right? Nobody ever says pet shop. I got a pet shop schnauzer.
Yeah.
That's like taboo now, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I respect everyone's decision, but for me, I know there are a lot of rescues.
Oh, mine have always been something. Well, one was born to another one, so that
Right.
that one got rescued, I guess.
That was a surprise.
The event will last until 2 p.m.
2 p.m., yes,
But
so...
the library won't be closing at 2 p.m.
No,
They have
the
different
library
hours.
is open until 4.
Maybe 4 or 6. I really don't remember off the top of my
4,
head. Yeah.
Did you hear our segment about stereotypes the other day?
No.
One of them was about librarians.
Okay.
And you don't fit the stereotype at all.
No.
No, I don't wear glasses. I'm not super
does.
quiet.
Neither do you, Karen. You don't either.
I think it is a stereotype that's kind of lived its life.
You know what we were talking about the other day? Robin and her mom went to an event at the old library building, which
Okay,
is now four letters.
IHMC.
Yeah,
And what does that stand for?
Human and Machine Cognition. Institute for Human and Machine
Institute.
Cognition.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's described as a think tank.
Okay.
Yes.
This is where I want to work.
Yeah.
Because all I got to do is sit there at my desk, and the boss says, "What are you doing?" I'm thinking.
I'm working hard.
That's right.
It's my job, right? You think?
Yeah.
Breaking a sweat.
Yeah, second
Yeah.
career.
But anyway, we were saying when it was a library, before there was an internet, I used to do a radio show in the Cascades, and I get calls. People think radio stations have everything, and they probably think the same thing with libraries.
Yes.
You know everything.
We do.
So I would always call you guys. I would always call the library.
That's good. We want you to.
And that lady, I don't remember her name, but she was so good, so nice, so patient with me. And I would say, somebody wants to know, when did Jim Croce die? I have no way of knowing this. So she said, well, let me look it up. And she would look it up and call me back and say, hey, I found it.
That's funny.
And that's what we want. Again, we know we live in an age where the internet is accessible pretty much to everyone, but a librarian and a trained library staff also knows the accuracy of sites and where to go for accurate information. And that's, we think, one of the real special aspects that isn't going to go away.
Do you have an opinion about the e-book for children? Do you think that tangible physical book is still popular with little kids?
Well, I think Lee can answer this as a parent. We believe that there is, again, in this 21st century, we know that people want options. And so we know that there are
okay, that's a good
lot,
answer. Yeah.
and actually studies have shown that millennials still really value that tangible hard copy. But we realize people want options.
Yeah,
so that tablet, whatever that device is, a lot use that and incorporate. And like I said, Lee probably can speak to that as a parent.
Well, as a parent and as a librarian, I think there's something special about getting a book in your hand, and then for a child to own their own books is really something special. So, like in our library, every December we try to give every kid a book. During the summer, we give kids books, just because. Well, I used to work at DCF, and when you go to a house and you see how much they treasure those little things. I don't know. There's something about sharing books with people and giving them.
Oh
to
yeah,
people.
I think
really
so. I hope so. I don't know if I'm being old-fashioned by hoping that.
No.
Or if
I
that's.
think it still is very much.
It's hardwired into us. I really do.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Do
so.
you think? I mean, do you know the story of how Christmas songs are spread around on Thanksgiving?
No.
No. There's a lady in a sleigh, and she does not pulled by reindeer. It's lifted by songbirds.
That's beautiful.
Yep, and she's from France, and she's the chanteuse, and it's the chanteuse sleigh, and it's got horns and stuff out of the back of the sleigh, and it puts all these musical notes onto the ground, and every Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving, flies around the world and spreads Christmas songs, so that for the next month or so, we have all these Christmas songs.
That sounds like a wonderful
That
story
is
in and
good.
of itself.
Yeah.
You don't have a copy of the chanteuse sleigh
I'm
ride?
sure we do. It's just a new story to me.
Oh, okay. Well, Robin's got a copy for you.
Great. Yeah, thank you, because
I love that. I love this.
we'll have to see how we can incorporate that into some programming.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll read that on Saturday.
That would be awesome.
As a preview to
That would be
the
awesome.
holidays.
That would be awesome.
I like when we all get together and do things together like this. I don't know. It's nice.
Oh, I love
do
it.
too.
I
Yeah.
love this part of my job is my favorite part.
Yeah.
People coming into the studio, talking about things happening in our community.
Yeah.
Rob and I have actually talked about one day, if we don't do this anymore, we'll just do, there's the book. We'll just do like podcasts, where where we do this exact same thing, but without commercials or without having to worry about the clock and all that other stuff. So
One of the wonderful things, too, I know some ladies at my church, they have like a book club. And they do readings, and then they'll go to the library, and they will check out a book. And if the book isn't there, and then they share it. And then if the book isn't there that they want, then the library will order it for them. It only takes a couple of days, and then after they finish this book, then they'll get that one. And then they can bring it back and have others. So I just think that's really wonderful.
Yeah, I think that is really one of the treasures of libraries is we have book clubs. And we do also do this thing called community conversation where people get together and they talk about a question. Like, you don't even have to have a book, but it's a place where people come together. Like probably maybe it wasn't always this way, but in my experience, libraries come together and you talk. It's really a nice thing.
Right. No, that is a really good feature. We do these interviews with authors every day.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've often wondered because obviously the author wants to sell a book, but there's also the opportunity to get it through the library, so you don't have to. The library pays for it, and I, as the reader, don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's
true.
So hopefully we've sent some people to the library to look up a book they heard about on the radio.
Well, I know we're going to have the Chanteuse sleigh ride book in our library. We
Yeah,
do-
that have to be, like I said, on Saturday's reading list.
we have an author, and you know her, Connie Mann, who
Connie is
She's
outstanding.
fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
she always makes sure that the library gets a copy of her book.
Oh,
she donates
nice.
it large print
Yes.
too.
Oh, that's
the
wonderful.
beautiful thing about that is that she recognizes that that's how you get readers. You know, you build these relationships. Then she comes to our libraries and presents and talks, and next thing you know, they're fans and they're buying her books. Libraries do serve an important role, even in a capitalist society. Like, it is a great promotion tool. If I was an author, I would just give it away to libraries.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
to get more readers. I don't know. It's really
I think
nice.
that's very true. We're a wonderful, instrument for.
So is that in your future, or have you done that already with the whole book thing? Are you?
I have not. I don't know if, oh gosh, I don't know, a memoir. Not sure anybody.
We had a guy the other
I'm not
day.
sure anybody's going to buy that.
Love poems for people with children, right? Was that what it was
Yeah.
called?
Oh, that's-
It was the smallest little book, but it was so funny. He was very clever with what he wrote. Yeah.
I
Well,
love it.
and self-publication has become, much more of a endeavor that individuals, they have something to say, and so they'll, have.
It's dangerous
self-published.
too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
dangerous.
Can be,
too,
I suppose.
because they will get something out in print that hasn't gone through the editorial part of that whole thing. I'm in favor of it. I'm glad we can do that, but at the same time, that's why those writers groups are
Yes,
so important.
I
Because
think so too.
if you
Yeah.
can't afford an editor, and they're not cheap, maybe the writers group will be able to
That's a good
fill
point.
that gap. Yeah.
It's a very good point.
yeah.
And the libraries are more than just books. People go in there for reference materials. People go for different events. Lee, you're outstanding at the Bellevue Public Library. You've got something going on all the time, and different days of the week, and
Oh,
different times of the day, and you make sure all the other libraries follow sync, and it's such a variety that you provide the community.
Yeah, every one of our branches. It's really interesting. Like, you could go to Fort McCoy, and you could go during the week, and there'll be a story time where kids are learning just how to interact in the public, and how parents get to escape their life a little bit and enjoy that, and then the next thing you know, you're at a book club, and the next thing you know, someone's getting their help with their Medicare or something. There's a million things that go on in a library. It's the most rewarding job ever. I mean, it really is amazing to be. It's just a magical place.
How many libraries in Marion County?
We have 8.
8.
Yes, and I was thinking, as Lee mentioned, all of the programming, I was thinking too, and remembering back 2 years ago, or no, was it, yeah, two years with Hurricane Irma, and the days following our headquarters location, and I think several locations had not lost power, and there was not an outlet to be found, or a public access computer. I mean, again, they turned over so that people were able to get on, but people were literally finding that a lifeline, their public library, because if their power was out at home, their internet was out at home, and they were trying to connect with their family.
Right.
It was such a reminder that we really are a vital resource
Absolutely.
to the community, and that was just kind of one example.
And thank goodness you're still around, because there was a fear a few years ago where we weren't sure what was going on. I don't know. But anyway, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
for coming in
thank
today.
you for having us.
So you're going to rebuild the fort like they did the other fort, right?
Yep.
Just got to figure out where it was.
Yes.
Just got to know where it was. And we're going to just put a few piles of dirt and make a mountain over there.
Yes.
A couple mountains. Lee Schwartz, Karen Jensen, thank you both. The Fort McCoy Public Library Community Celebration this Saturday, November 2nd, from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Fort McCoy Public Library, 14660 Northeast County Road 315 in Fort McCoy. And what is the phone number over there, Karen?
It's 438-2560.
Thank you. I was going to give you the main number, so thanks, Lee.
Thank you both. Enjoy
for having us.
Halloween, and
Yes, happy Halloween.
You as well.
and if you're at First Friday Art Walk, we'll be there.
Oh, I'm coming.
Great.
I'm coming.
You usually do.
I will heckle you. Yes.
Library staff there.
All right, we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. 2 Foreign Service officers testified today for the impeachment inquiry, Christopher Anderson and Catherine Croft.
Tomorrow, the House plans to hold a vote not on impeachment, but on the resolution and the parameters moving forward in the impeachment process. Democrats put forth a text of an 8-page resolution setting out the next steps in the process going forward in the impeachment inquiry, which includes public hearings.
Fox's Griff Jenkins in Washington. We're told it's confirmed a wildfire burning in Los Angeles was started by sparks from a downed tree hitting a power line. The local utility has cut power to more people through the state, trying to prevent more wildfires.
Frustration is growing as those without power, in some cases since Saturday, have had to search for places to charge their phones. By ICE, PG&E says it hopes to get everyone back online quickly after this next wind event dies down, hopefully sometime later today.
Fox's Claudia Cowan in Santa Rosa, California. America's listening to Fox News.
Panera has new breakfast wraps. And yeah, they're an easy on-the-go start to your day. But these are no microwave and go wraps. These are slow-smoked Chipotle chicken, egg, and avocado go-getters. They're maple bacon, eggy smoked Gouda bundles of portable bliss. And they all pair perfectly with our new cold brews. All this can be yours in an instant with rapid pickup. For breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Panera, food as it should be.